Hey, hey, good evening, hail and welcome. It is once again time to continue our adventures throughout the Cronus Expanse, as I believe it's called, in the fourth installment of our blind playthrough of Rogue Trader. Let's see here. Is that playtime? I think it is. The autosaves don't have playtime. Only the manual saves do, it seems. So yeah, it seems we are about 4 hours into it. Honestly, not as far as I thought, considering this is the fourth stream. I thought we were further in. Are there 40,000 Warhammer games? I don't think so, Fan of Light. There are quite a lot if you go searching, but I don't think there are quite 40,000 of them. Anyway, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Also, cheers. Oh yeah, we just smashed this blasphemous lens that they were using to burn the eyes out of people to turn them into rambling madmen. Press any key. Which one's the any key? Right, so I believe we are done down here. It's just, which way do I go up? And I decided to try this one. We'll see where that takes us. Oh, I missed some stuff. I missed a hand flamer? Do I not already have one of those? It seems like I don't. I'll keep that. The Carpus chestplate, though, I already have plenty of those. So there we go. We might be running straight into another fight. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure where I'm coming out here. Am I a summer or a winter person? If I have to pick between the two, I would say I'm more of a winter person. I would rather be too cold than too hot. However, I am more of a spring and autumn person. Like, I like the in-betweeny seasons better than the extremes. Even if they do tend to be rainier. Oh, look at this. Who's a good boy? Good papa. How about you, Fan? Do you consider yourself a summer or a winter person? Oh, looks like we came out right in the middle of that.
Arbitrators, secure perimeter. Formation 4755. Blato, heal.
A powerfully built man among the fighters quickly surveys the battlefield. His face, determined and impassive, recalls those seen on statues of heroes of the Imperium. His gaze remains trained on you as he raises an iron fist. Power's back on with it. The air condition. Yeah, the kind of climate you live in, I would hate to go without air condition. That would be suffering. The huge cyber mastiff immediately stops snarling in your direction and goes quiet at its master's foot, its stillness punctuated only by the thick globules of blood dripping from its metal fangs.
Dr. Exactant Solomon Anthar of the Adeptus Arbates. State your name and the purpose of your stay on Rykadamanoris.
His voice is calm and even, yet his finger remains firmly positioned on the trigger of his weapon. Again, I can be a pompous jerk, but I see no reason to be so. I mean, this is the Adeptus Arbites. We might as well play nice with them. You can't stand winter, even though it doesn't get lower than 10 Celsius. Oh, see, that's like... That's my comfort zone. Like, between 10... Like, I'd say anything between 10 and 20 Celsius. That's like my preference. I am Theophania von Valancius, successor to the recently deceased Theodora von Valancius. I've come to this world on personal business.
So, Theodora von Valancius is dead. I will deliver this tragic news to Marshal Strax. I honor the pact your predecessor made with the Adeptus Arbates. I won't keep you any longer.
That is one fearsome-looking dog. I was impressed by its performance in battle.
That skirmish just now, Glato didn't even get to show off a tenth of what he is capable of. But he is quickly catching up with me for who's killed the most heretics today.
What was the nature of the arrangement between the Arbites and Theodora?
Your predecessor made a formal alliance with us. She provided us with a headquarters on Dargonis and supported us in the collection and guarding of the Imperial tithe on several occasions. We, in turn, assisted Lady Theodora in enforcing the law on the worlds under her control.
And what are you and your people doing here? Even though I'm gonna ask this question, but I think it's kind of a dumb question. There's an uprising taking place. Of course the Arbites are out cracking hell, cracking skulls.
Removing obstructions to an official inquiry. My unit and I came here to investigate the disappearance of one particularly valuable ship, but the mutinous scum got in the way. Now we are having to deal with them too.
Are there Nazis in this game? Not that I've seen. Generally 40k in the official law, as far as I know, don't have explicit Nazis. However, the Imperium of Mankind is kind of fascist, and in some ways they're the good guys, but in other ways they are kind of Nazi adjacent. Like they do some horrible things and have some horrible beliefs. What can you tell me about the situation on the planet?
Only that the governor is failing in his responsibilities. This is a planet-wide rebellion, and it reeks of madness. Or worse, of
Turn my
witchcraft.
speakers up a little
The
bit.
rebels are blinding both themselves and others, and their ravens are the most insane and unholy thing I've ever heard.
Are you not supposed to help the... Oh, what do we have here? Oh, thanks for the check-in. Are you not supposed to help the governor regain control over this world? I thought that maintaining order was the foremost duty of any arbitrator.
Not every uprising demands action by the Adeptus Arbates. For now, I'm simply assessing the situation, and if our investigation requires that the rebellion be crushed, then we will intervene. Still, the governor had best put a stop to this bedlam. He's not here to just sit and look pretty.
So what's this about a missing ship?
It's about a tithe ship. A vessel loaded to the brim with planetary tithes, amassed over a considerable period, suddenly went dark as soon as
Ooh,
it
that is
departed
serious.
Rykadamanoris.
What does the stolen tithe entail?
Resources that every world is under obligation to relinquish for the good of the Imperium. In the case of Rycat Minoris, they include the ceramite and explosive reagents produced on Rykadi Philia, armor glass, medical supplies, and guardsmen, a living tide to be recruited into the regiments of the Astra Militarum. Cargo like that is particularly dangerous in the hands of heretics, as it can be easily converted into wealth or used for military purposes.
Nice pillage, Fan of Light. How much gold is in your treasury by now?
Fight our way to the local administratum palace and ascertain whether a fire or some other disaster hasn't destroyed the documents related to the investigation. I hope the clerks were smart enough to put the records before their lives. If the Emperor favors us, we will extract the data we need, or else interrogate the survivors before we pay a visit to the governor. The questions we have for him are beginning to pile up.
The Cyber Mastiff lets out a low growl and leans forward somewhere to the side. Solomon fires a shot in the same direction without even looking. You hear a stifled, gurgling rattle.
Arbitrators, eliminate the surviving rebels. Now is not the best time for conversations. With target practice standing around like this. Unless you have more questions, I will proceed with my assignments.
Is the governor a suspect?
Every citizen of this planet is a suspect, but Governor Medina is under particular scrutiny. Seizing the sacred tithe requires access to information, resources, and power. The governor fits that profile. Then there's this rebellion. Convenient. How many records and crucial witnesses do you think will be lost? Some people call it cover-up. I do not like how aptly this term describes the present
plot
situation.
is thickening. Well, I am on my way to see the governor myself. You and your unit could accompany me.
I must refuse. Our mission and the Marshal's orders take priority, even over a request from an individual as empowered as you.
Fair enough. In that case, I have no further questions.
May the Emperor watch over us. That way, this meeting won't be our last.
So where exactly am I? Okay, so I think if I go through here, I'm back. Back to the map I was on last stream, I think. Just hopping around through loading screens trying to get my bearing. But I think I know where this puts me. Yes. So that is where I went down and then went into the factory hall, which I guess would be like here, where I destroyed the lens, and then I went up like here, and that came out there. Okay. So now that I have my bearings, and we are completely done with the eastern side, let's go right back through this loading screen and start exploring the western side, because we haven't done that yet.
Claim to the stars.
Serve the Emperor in your heart and deeds while you join the ranks of his illustrious army, the Astra Militarum. What is that? Is that like... Oh, are these like propaganda flyers? Is that what I'm seeing here? Fight heresy, serve a higher purpose, safeguard humanity's dominion. I really like that word, dominion. Okay, so I can go down on this side, I can go down on the other side to lower level. Wait, hold on. So is that actually where I came from and I was just moved up there because of the cutscene?
Hopefully they will help to put things back in order around here.
Not happening, old man. All they care about is their tithe. Even if the Coronis expanse turned upside down, they wouldn't bat an eye. Follow my lead.
So I think this is going to be a waste of time, but I just want to test it out. I think I know exactly where this took me. I think this takes me exactly where the stream started. Just making sure I'm not missing out on anything. Yes. Okay. So now I have a handle on what happened. So we went up here. So we came up here, but because we had to see the cutscene and have the conversation with the arbitrator, it put us over here instead, which is what made me a little bit disoriented. Okay, well now we know.
Tolerate weakness.
Ooh. Let's go down here. I see loot. So considering the arbitrators have swept through here, should I not expect resistance? I feel like I don't trust there to not be resistance.
Right there.
Okay, let's back off a little bit. And I will send... It's demolition. See, it's 100%, so it doesn't matter who I send, but I just want to make a habit of sending the person who's actually the most qualified. So demolition. 35, 40, 60, and 40. So it is actually...
Join me in prayer.
What is her name again? Argenta. She is the most qualified
Pay attention.
to deal with mines.
Duty prevails.
Who's the most perceptive? Let's see, awareness 40, 65, so that's going to be Adira. Alright, so actually,
Never doubt me. Did you want something?
I want to bring Adira over here to just spot for me, basically.
I'm restless.
And then Argenta does all the actual
The Emperor
disarming.
favors me today.
And I think the only reason skills are at 100% is because A, I'm early in the game, and B, I'm on easy difficulty. Actually, can I change the difficulty?
Through my service.
Cooperative mode, formation, options, gameplay, difficulty. So I can change it to default difficulty if I want. See, it also lowers the skill test difficulty modifier. That's also why enemies have so few wounds. You know what? I'm gonna try to set it up to normal difficulty. And then I'm gonna put it back down if it gets too hard.
How may I serve the dynasty? We must act. When the faithful are idle, heresy grows. The Emperor favors me today.
My whispers crave entertainment.
Clearly oblivious to your presence, the soldier mutters incoherently and does not react to anything around him. Does he have plasteel ballistic plates, litanies of faith, trank injectors, sights, Profane blades. That sounds bad. That sounds like something I maybe shouldn't have. Oh, so that was the goods? Alright. Control A to select everyone, or all, I guess. Okay, so this is a blind...
Victory.
Ooh. If we can talk to you. The light! It's in me! It's inside! It's killing me! Ah! Can't you hear it? The future is coming! My eyes are blind, but I can finally see it! Ooh. Ancient Terra Monocle. The wearer's Law Imperium tests depend on fellowship instead of intelligence, and get a +3 bonus. I'll have that. And then... I mean, what will that do to my... I am pretty intelligent. So this actually won't do that much. Let's see. So I will lose 10% armor and 2 points of fellowship. And my Law Imperium will go from 55 to 63. So that is an 8-point increase. Yeah, you know what? I don't think that's worth it. I don't think that's worth it. Is there anyone else who would benefit from that? Generally someone who has more fellowship and intelligence. Don't think so. Maybe Abelard? No. Definitely not Pascal. Alright, so that is not going to be used by anyone. At least not right now. Perhaps later.
Over there.
Before we started the stream, I drank a whole bunch of water. So I will be taking this ad break to go pee, even though we are only half an hour into the stream. It looks like we're walking into a fight. Captives, some rebels.
A new challenge for me.
Do that. Stay here. These are all captives. These are rebels. You know, I think I want to kick this off. Well, he's in range. Guess I don't have an angle. If I go out here, that should definitely give me an angle.
Already done.
Okay, nothing happened. It didn't even start the fight. That is weird. Oh, might as well reload. And then...
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Oh, and then it just pulls me away from the position I wanted to be in. That's annoying. That kind of pisses me off, actually. Anyway, ads are about to hit. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I will be right back. back. Although ads are still running for a minute and a half, so as with all project streams, we are going to wait and not continue the game until the ad break is over, just so everyone can keep up. By the way, if you see me rubbing my ears a lot this stream, it's just because I have an unfortunate buildup of earwax in my right ear. To the point where I basically have an earplug in my right ear, and I've tried dealing with it and I haven't been able to deal with it, so I have to go to the doctor tomorrow to get them to rinse it out for me. So if you see me fiddling a lot with my ears, just because I'm annoyed at that. It's an annoying feeling. It literally feels, well, not, it feels basically the same as having an earplug in one ear, except it doesn't stick out. So it's like if you put an earplug in your ear and it somehow got stuck all the way in there so you couldn't get it out, that's basically what I'm feeling constantly. Well, that guy looks important. He has a cape. This fight is going to be tricky, because this is the new difficulty, so this might be harder than anything so far. Anyway, ad break ending in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Alright, let's dive back in. Some 10 people, children among them, are huddling together in fear. The elder family members are doing what they can to calm the young. Several armed insurgents are watching the frightened yet unharmed hostages, but the watchers themselves are looking around nervously. Is that because I came here this fast? Yes, it's because I went here as soon as I could. Elderly citizen. Come to your senses, Harold. Look what you're doing to your own family. A woman of about 60, grey-haired but still strong, is kneeling before a stocky man with a thick, pure white beard, stretching her arms towards him. Take pity on us! Let us go! Fanatical old man. Can't you see I'm trying to save you? The man clutches his weapon tightly. Only Aurora can help us. Why can't you understand that? Upon seeing you, the man points his weapon at you. The other insurgents do the same. Who are you and what do you want? What are you trying to save them from, and who's behind all this? At Aurora's behest. Aurora is a great prophet and a great warrior. Their face is shrouded, but their gaze pierces the veil of time and sees into the future. I always knew the governor's dogs were hiding the truth from us, and now the day has come. A prophet has come to Rykard Minoris and opened our eyes. The end of the world is coming, the final dawn, and only those who accept Aurora's truth will survive it. Pascal's vox hisses furiously. Layperson, cognition is not your primary function. You are saving your kin by holding them at gunpoint and believe that burning their eyes will grant them sight. It is evident that the author of the demagogic teachings that infuse you meant to make a mockery of your deplorable intellect. Abelard's face turns a deep red. To cast your own children into the thrall of heresy, to drown your progeny in this filth with your own hands. Are all these people your family? All of my adopted and blood children are here. I raised them all as my own, and now I must protect them, help them see. Oh, you tell me, who are you and what are you doing to these unfortunates? I'm the chief. My former name, Harold, is meaningless now. I am a father leading his family to deliverance from woes, to salvation. Aurora has opened my eyes to the truth, and my children will see it. Harold, spare us! Spare your children! Okay, well, we were going to go Iconoclast, so we're going to take the Iconoclast option. What you are doing is no salvation. Stop taking your fear out on the innocent. It will neither ease your suffering nor rid you of fear. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people around the world right now who kind of need to hear this right now. But all I wanted was to save. The man drops his weapon and covers his face with his hands in desperation. You hear several short sobs. And that gave me more Iconoclast, which is what I thought it might do. Which is why I picked it. The old woman rises from her knees and approaches her husband. I know you were trying to save us, but there's still a way to set things right. I kind of want to replay this game already and make different choices and maybe not come here first, just to see how things would be different. The old man gestures to the other insurgents, who lower their weapons. Then he shifts his gaze to you, trying to hold back tears. What happens to us now? This is hard. I guess we're going Iconoclast. I guess we're committed to the Iconoclast route. Although it just seems so very 40k to just kill him where he stands. But no, we're committing to the Iconoclast route. Your family may go, and so may you, but make sure I do not ever see you again. The hostages begin to leave, and soon the group disappears around one of the bends. The old man looks away from them and walks in the opposite direction. His shoulders shake with sobs every now and then. Gain experience and Iconoclast. What about the other rebels? Oh! I am surprised the other rebels didn't attack. Very surprised, actually. I mean, not that I'm complaining. Let's lock that in. Save. What's in this container? Join up at your hive's nearest Astra Militarum Mobile Conscription Center. I have everyone selected right? Yeah, I do.
Would you look at that?
Oh, right, these need to be remotely disarmed. And again with demolition skill, which means, again, Argenta is the most qualified. Argenta, if you please. Oh, you spotted loot down there. Okay, I have to remember to go down there when I get the chance.
Duty prevails.
Duty prevails. One thing I actually really like in this game, it's a minor thing, but I like that some traps, you can't disarm them where the actual trap is. You need to remotely disarm them. I don't know. I like that. Cover was haphazardly assembled from whatever the rebels could find. That makes sense. So and so. So I guess I just bypassed a whole ass combat encounter just by choosing to be an Iconoclast. Okay, so let's head down here. Have a look at that. Goods in the stall are a stark contrast to the rest of the nearby shops. Jars are labeled all-purpose synth powder. Fills you up no matter what. Made in Necromunda's best factories. Ooh, Necromunda. Gaming! Hello, welcome! How's it going? It is going well. It is going so well that I am experimenting by increasing the difficulty from story mode to normal. Maybe it'll be too hard, maybe it won't. We haven't had a proper fight since I did, so we don't really know yet.
None shall stand in my way.
How about you? How are you doing? Feeling better than you were yesterday? What do we have here? Shards of crystallized darkness. Heretic trophies. That sounds sinister. Maglock scabbards, blasphemous litanies, and glow sticks. I'll take all of that. Is this... Oh, it's blocked. It's blocked. Having a bad chest day. Wrenched all your ribs after being poked and prodded yesterday by the consultant. Ah. You know, I'm sure the examination was necessary, and ultimately it's a good thing if it gets you closer to those injections you need, but still. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear it. I hope you get your appointment for those shots soon, and I hope they work out just as well for you this time around as they did last time. Over here, trank injectors, bunch of corpse starch, consecrated scrolls, icons, and a supercharged plasma accumulator. Trying to be positive about it bloody hurts. Yeah, I imagine.
I won't tolerate weakness.
I mean, I can scarce imagine. It's not like I've ever had to deal with anything like that. The only kind of... The closest I've ever had to chronic pain is a toothache, which was excruciating and damn near drove me insane, but I only had to deal with that for a couple of weeks. So it's still... not at all the same. Vanguards are the unyielding strongholds of the front line. They lead attacks, bring enemy fire on themselves. Oh, this is just talking about the class. Give me a chest burster. Sure, that will have hurt less by now. Yeah, I mean, that probably hurts more, but then over a very short period. So if you average it out, yeah, it probably overall... results in less pain. I agree with you. Available shells for large caliber weapons being stored right in the command center. Oh, I leveled up from reaching here. Yeah, so let's take the time to level up before we continue.
They say a little bit of humility never hurt anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
Who's jabbering? Was that my character? Talking about humiliating people? Don't need to hear about your kinks, lady. Alright, let's see what we're being offered here. We already took that. So we get to choose a special ability. So Finest Hour, that's my ulti that basically gives them a full turn. Yes, so what can I get for that? Target gains additional bonuses. Deals... How much is that? 3 times my fellowship bonus. I think my fellowship bonus is like 5. Yeah, my fellowship bonus is 5. So that would be 15% extra damage. And gives voice of command until the end of combat. Pretty good. Target of Finest Hour. All negative effects are immediately removed. Till the end of my next turn, he cannot die. Woof. Gains 15 temporary wounds until the end of combat. Or... during the extra turn, all their non-attacking abilities cost -1 AP. I think I'm going to go basic and just go for the 15 temporary wounds. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Now, Idira. She gets... So what does dismantling attack do again? +1 exploit on every enemy in combat, then makes a free attack against a target. Attack always hits until the end of combat. Target of this suffers minus to armor, block, dodge, and parry. That is really good. I have never used this. I probably should. Seems really good. Target cannot move for a turn. And minus 3 MP for the rest of the combat. Dismantling attack also cripples, reducing their weapon skill and ballistics. Ooh, that seems really good. I think I might go for that. Intimidates, reducing dodge and armor until end of combat. Or provokes an attack of opportunity whenever it attacks. I think we're going to go with this one. And then we also get to choose a skill. And I think for Idira, probably Lore Warp. I mean, more awareness would be good, but I think she is like my primary source of lore warp, so I think I want to specialize her into that. We take that one, and we take that one. What does that do again? Number of extra attacks equal to rate of fire. So the end of the first attack against each new enemy automatically crits. Okay, yes, and I can get... Okay, that's really good with Firearms Mastery. Plus 30% rate of fire until the end of combat. 20% harder to dodge. And 10% armor penetration. That seems really good. Till the end of turn. Each of the area attacks. Yeah, but I don't really do a lot of area attacks with her. So I think we're gonna go with this one. Now Abelard. Daring Breach was what again? Restores all AP and MP and gains plus 3 MP. Do not lose movement points after performing attacks and no limit on melee weapon attacks. Okay. Daring Breach also grants 10 extra movement points. And you don't provoke attack of opportunity. That is insane. Plus 4 for each kill. And may use their movement points after attacking or using abilities. Well, we already have that. Well, no, that makes it also work on abilities. That's also good. That is... Oh, wait, until the end of combat? Okay, that's... All of these are kind of wild. Melee attacks deal an additional... That's going to be what, 2? 2 extra melee damage? Okay, that one's not as amazing as the others. I mean, plus 2 deflection until end of combat is kind of sick. But I think we're gonna go with this one. And finally, Pascal. Dismantling attacks, the same options. I might just go for the cripple on him as well. Yeah, we're just gonna go for the cripple on him as well. And also choose a skill. Already has tech use, so I can't take that. It says I can. He already has an insane tech use, though. So I think it's gonna be either logic or, if I can get it, Medicae. Yeah, I'm gonna get Medicae. There we go. Alright. That was all the leveling up. Let's save and continue. Loliet, hey, welcome. I know you over from Taffy's stream, right? How's it going? Quite well. Quite well. I am having a good day today. And I am really enjoying this game. Taffy and Fan. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Soldiers doing in this shelter? Why are they not on the streets fighting back against the enemies of humanity?
Oh, calm down, Argenta.
It is because the governor does not wish to be without his personal guard. Even behind the meter-thick walls of his bunker. Typical.
Usually banned on Taffies. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around, I guess. What do you have to say, Tech Priest?
You know, I got into hentai like actually relatively recently. It's kind of like a new
Yo!
thing I'm
Reinforcements have arrived!
Reinforcements! Lady Epitaph and friends! Hello! Fuzzy! Grim! North! Lady Epitaph! Bubbles! Mitten! It's a whole bunch of my favorite people! Welcome on in, guys! Did you finish Chicken Police, Taffy? Did you manage to finish it? And was it everything you hoped for? Game is completed. Banned law? No. She gave it a 10 out of 10? Oh, wow. I know you don't throw those around lightly. Game was really good. Gave it a 7 out of 10. Okay. I mean, 7 out of 10 is still very solid. Just when I thought Bear couldn't get more attractive, he's wearing an Iron Maiden t-shirt. You want a better look at it? I'll show you. Along with my fat gut. There you go. My Number of the Beast t-shirt. Got some stuff on the back too. Anyway, most of you probably already know me, but for those who don't, I am Bear Anderson. I'm a variety streamer, play a little bit of everything, and right now we are diving into this massive Warhammer 40,000 RPG called Rogue Trader. I lost weight. I did, Grim. I did. In the past year, I have lost about 40 pounds. One of their best albums? I would be inclined to agree. What did this guy say? But I didn't notice because the raid came in. So absorbed in prayer they do not notice your presence. There is the governor, some bodyguards. Doesn't seem like anyone else is interesting here. Seems like he's the only person of note. So let's go say hi. The tall, dark-skinned man turns towards you and greets you in a curt military manner. Faisal Riccardi Ab Medine Af Coronis, Governor of the Star System. Welcome to my temporary headquarters. Hey, thank you for checking in, Law. An inspiration and an absolute badass. Thank you, thank you. I really do need to get to the gym more. I really want to get in good shape, but it's just so hard to get off my ass and actually do stuff, you know? It's much easier to just be lazy on the couch.
I think Bear is a cutie, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Law. Thank you for that blurb. Oh, everybody checking in. Let's see, who do we have? We have Noliet, Mitten, Grimspace, North. Thank you all for checking in. Mitten braving the dungeon and finding some gold. Man's gaze falls on Abelard, his eyes slightly narrow. Wersarian. Abelard nods dryly. Governor Medine, my greetings. I'm not seeing the convoy I'd sent to meet you. What happened? Did they fail to find and escort you? If that is so, I promise you their punishment will be swift and severe. The convoy was ambushed. There were no survivors except Private Camille Regius. I must commend his extraordinary loyalty and resilience. Only one good soldier in the whole convoy. Pathetic. Head to the barracks, Private, and await new orders. Your Ladyship, before we proceed with discussing the matters that are of interest to you, there is a question I feel compelled to ask. It was only recently that Lady Theodora was the head of House von Valancius. I have received no word of her demise. How is it you are now the rogue trader? Speaking of getting off your ass, time to take your dog up the hill. Have a nice walk. Get some fresh air, Lady Epitaph. I do wish you luck. I wish you the best of weather. And thank you for the raid. My esteemed predecessor died at the hands of cultists. May the Emperor incinerate their souls. Governor frowns, and a deep shadow falls over his face. Rogue trader von Valancius, slain! Unthinkable! Please accept my deepest and most sincere condolences, Your Ladyship. Do not hesitate to let me know how I might be of help. Well, let's use our commerce skill. I need fresh crew to replace those killed in the attack on the ship, and I need material compensation. Governor bows his head in acceptance. Of course, Your Ladyship, you will be compensated for any losses, and I'll see to it personally that your ship's holds are filled with the finest goods from my personal reserve. Gain 6 experience, and gain 2 profit factor. You see, it's not just about being the heroes and saving the Imperium. We are a rogue trader. Profit is prime. Abelard nods in quiet approval and remarks quietly, Excellent, Your Ladyship. A rogue trader has no use for leniency. I can offer you several thousand fine, obedient servants. However, I'm sad to inform you that I won't be able to do it until we've dealt with the insurgency on the planet. I'm sure you won't have to wait long. The rabble will soon be duly punished for their heretical scheming. And what can I respond to that? Guess I have a bunch of options. I will start with this one. I wish to commend the courage of one of your officers, Sergeant Malgar. He and his soldiers valiantly defended the starport. A sergeant who managed to impress a person of such noble standing will be recommended for decoration. Good. My kinsman, Conrad Voitvir von Valancius, has betrayed our dynasty and the Imperium. If he is hiding in this system, I want him handed over to me. Voitvir is a traitor? Why, any family, however noble, has an unworthy scion or two. Naturally, we will surrender him should we find him within my jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I have no information regarding his location. However, the governor pauses to think. We have a cogitator here at the command center. It's connected to a data crypt from Logis Abel's sanctum. It aggregated all the Lex Mechanic reports. Unfortunately, the access prayer for it is unknown to me. If you manage to convince the stubborn machine, you might learn something about Conrad's movements. I'd hazard he fled from you on a ship, not on a pair of wings. Right, let's see. Cogitator is a computer. Data crypt is basically a database. What is Lex Mechanic? Low-ranking tech priest. Oh, so all the Lex Mechanics have aggregated their... Okay, yeah, I see. I see. Heinrichs van Kalox, an interrogator of the Most Holy Inquisition, is operating in your system. Do you know where he is? The governor lowers his voice. I do. Master Van Kallax has left for the hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium. It is an ancient monastery of the Adeptus Mechanicus. I don't know what his objectives are. Needless to say, insurgent activity has been observed in the monastery's vicinity. But I suppose that's too petty of a problem for an agent of his most holy Inquisition. Besides, I have already sent a small detachment of reinforcements there. The weapon the insurgents were using to shoot down shuttles over the city has been destroyed. Now nothing is preventing you from returning to your ship. If you wish to find Master Van Kallax, you should go to the Cenobium of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Notes of anxiety creep into the voice that rattles from Pascal's vox. On behalf of the priesthood of Mars, I, Magus Hanuman, am officially initiating my participation in the operation. I must inspect the state of the relic and assure myself that it is under zero risk of falling into heretic hands. According to the Catechism of Maintenance and Operation, my tech comrades were supposed to lock the monastery gates against laypeople and activate the traps. I deem it optimal that an ordained Magus should provide his assistance. Governor Medina. I categorically object. The governor clenches his fist. As much as I respect the sanctity of your monastery, I have on my hands a whole capital that needs to be attended by the Omnissiah's servants. We have lost many eminent tech priests. Incidentally, one of them perished in that same monastery. Mechanical failures could occur at any moment. Putting it bluntly, you may consider yourself forcibly recruited into the city's defense force. Medina and Pascal glare at each other, their unyielding gazes like crossed swords. And then I get to pick a side. So do I side with the really cool tech priest that I really want on my team, but I piss off the governor of this world, which would suck? Or do I give up a really cool companion in order to make nice with the governor? It's adorable that he thinks he has power over you and a tech magus. Yes. I mean, if I weren't there, he might be able to strong-arm Pascal. I don't think he has rank and authority to order Pascal around, but he does have the more military strength, so I think he might be able to, in the short term, get away with recruiting him. But that would definitely come back to bite him later on anyway. But yeah, I think I'm gonna side with Pascal, because I like him. Him, her, it. Him, I think. But first I'm gonna pick option 1, because I like it. You have picked an interesting time to quarrel with a servant of the Omnissiah, Governor. A critical situation calls for decisive action. I simply cannot let every learned tech priest go to their death the moment they hear about an endangered relic. I need people who can do more than praise the Omnissiah to look after the capital and its millions of citizens. I mean, he does have a point, but not enough of a point. This Magus is part of my retinue. You have no right to give him orders. You mistake me for a fool. I know that he arrived separately from you, and I would bet my life that no... Oh, Pascal's gonna get up in his face. Oh... Oh, 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 oh. The governor's voice dies down in the low growl of a drilling mechadendrite. Its tip is directed straight at the bridge of his nose. Medine clears his throat and grumbles stubbornly. So this is the negotiation technique you have resorted to. Do you think this is the first time I've been threatened with a weapon? No, but this could be your last. Pascal's voice is akin to the sound produced by his drilling equipment, steady and calm, but ready to explode at a moment's notice, with the crunching of bone and the squelching of tearing flesh. I am heading to the monastery because I must. Is that clear? The governor mutters through gritted teeth. Abundantly so, Magus. Well, I'm gonna ask. I want more information. Why are you so determined to get to the monastery? Is it just because of the relic? It is why I came to this world. I am expected there. Well, it would be my pleasure to assist the Omnissiah's servant in reaching the sanctum. Thank you for your cooperation, your ladyship. The drill stops. As compensation for your consideration of my request, I, Magus Hanneman, officially undertake to accompany you in the Rycat system in the role of bodyguard and to protect you at all costs until your life functions cease, but only within the limits of the Rycat system. You're Hanuman? Glad you're alive. The governor raises his eyebrow and stares at the tech priest in surprise, but refrains from further commentary. Why not shell the monastery? Oh my god, Pascal will be so pissed if I suggest that. I am definitely not suggesting that. Honestly, if he does that, and that is really an Adeptus Mechanicus monastery, home to a sacred relic of theirs, even if it is full of traitors and heretics, if he shells the monastery, the Adeptus Mechanicus will kill him, they will wipe out his entire bloodline, they may turn him into a chair, a mechanical chair, of course, and they might just glass the planet. That is a horrible idea. I wish to know more about the monastery. The Cenobium has been ruled by the Adeptus Mechanicus ever since the colony was founded. The sacred reactor guarded by its priests powers the entire planet. Okay, I'm definitely not going to suggest shelling a monastery that houses a generator strong enough to power an entire planet. On one side of things, that is a dark age of technology relic, irreplaceable and impossibly valuable. It's probably worth more than the entire rest of the planet. Second of all, self-glassing planet. Yes, that would be my second point. Imagine overloading or blowing up a reactor that strong. The fallout from that. Alright. Pascal, what is so special about the Cenobium and the relic? What is in there that has drawn the attention of an interrogator of the Inquisition? I have never been there before, but I would presume that the sacred relic of the reactor is capable of great destruction should it end up in heretic hands. Is this the last dawn? Is the cultists' last dawn that they actually plan on blowing up the reactor? Oh, I just realized that might be it. The fury of the freed machine spirits, once released from the sacred circuit, will destroy everything around them. The degree of damage inflicted may render the world of Rycat Minoris uninhabitable. So exactly what we were just talking about. Heresy must be purged from those blessed halls. I declare any desecrator who defiles the relic's power a Category 3 blasphemer deserving of immediate execution. Well, Governor, what has perplexed you about my companion's name? Governor looks at Pascal with curiosity. According to the reports we received, Lodge's Abel Hanuman set off for the hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium a short while before it was stormed. I'm glad to find out that you're safe. Perhaps you possess information on Master Van Calox. Pascal's voice rasps in confusion. My name is Pascal Hanuman, not Abel. I know nothing about such a person. What do you know about this Abel, Governor? I've never met him in person. That esteemed Lodges supervised the work of Rycat Minoris' Lex Mechanics for many years. However, he rarely left his cyber chapel, and I never had the honor of making his acquaintance. A true anchorite. Where can I get more information on this individual? I would have suggested that you inspect the esteemed Lodges' sanctum, but it was destroyed by the rebels. We recovered several data crypts and connected them to the cogitators at the command post. They might provide you with some information. It's amazing that a mechanical voice from a Vox can sound so confused. That name might have been used as a signal, intelligible only to its intended recipient. In that case, its bearer might be Archmagus Armanat, initiating an investigation and data collection procedure. Idira tenses up and listens, then turns around sharply to face Pascal. I can hear my friend's snide whispers through the door. Be careful on your search, Magus. If you stare into a shattered mirror for too long, you might see yourself in it, in every shard at once. Mending it is that much more of a tainted affair then. The new reflection is deathlike. Why did he fly to the monastery? That seems suspicious. When a Lodges of the Adeptus Mechanicus wants to go somewhere, we don't ask why, your ladyship. I see. Glad to be of service, your ladyship. Are you confident that you will crush the insurrection soon? My own impression has been the exact opposite. Is that so? I'd like to hear your reasoning. Okay. The rioters are too well organized, too well informed, too well armed. There are signs of indoctrination into heretical beliefs. They are clearly being directed by someone competent and charismatic. Governor, you are dealing with an archenemy cult that is growing at an alarming rate. The governor's eyes darken, but your unwavering gaze makes him give in. All right. Perhaps I've underestimated the mutiny, writing it off as the rabble's usual nonsense. However, if it does involve corruption and an underground cult, this needs to be investigated. I'll assign additional resources to it and take the issue seriously. You have my word, your ladyship. Is there anything else I can do on this planet or in this system while I wait for the end of the revolt? There is a Navis Nobilite station in the system, but those hermits don't do business with anyone. Not even I have ever been invited on board. However, they've been known to make exceptions for members of rogue trader families. Perhaps they will make one for you. If you'd like a distraction, a smaller and safer uprising to suppress at your leisure, there is a planetoid in my system called Recadiphilia. It hosts a prison colony whose inmates rebelled at the same time as the heretics on the planet. It's an all-round preposterous situation. It should have only taken us a couple of orbital shots to take care of them, but Yvain Winterscale went there. He's a relative of my suzerain, the great rogue trader Caligus Winterscale, the master of this system and a dozen others. I imagine the young Lord Winterscale is very eager to prove himself to his distinguished kinsman. I see no reason for you not to join him. It's a small planetoid, the prisoners' numbers are few, and they have little in the way of weapons. It's more of a sport for noble lords and ladies than a real rebellion. Wow. That is kind of dark that they consider it basically fox hunting to put down rebellions. Yvain, Abelard mutters, stroking his beard. Wait, what beard? Look at his portrait. He doesn't have a beard. One of his distant younger offspring, yes. That's as much as I know about him, which means he hasn't distinguished himself in any meaningful way. Alright, well, that is all I wanted to discuss. Oh, here come the Abites. The Adeptus Abites is assuming command of this area. Look, DLC. Yeah, I went and got the first 2 DLCs after last stream because I want everything this game has to offer. I love this game. So far, at least. The arbitrator marches forward relentlessly and halts one step away from the governor, looking down at him. Governor Medine, in the name of the Lex Imperialis, I, Proctor Solomon Anthar, arrest you on suspicion of involvement in the theft of the shipment of the Imperial tithe. Taking into account the state of emergency on the planet, I will permit you to retain your authority under my direct supervision. From this time forth, you will give the Adeptus Arbites your full cooperation, in particular by transferring command of the strike groups and other resources to me. Medina, though deathly pale, proudly raises his chin. Arrest me? Transfer my resources? Your demands undermine my efforts to suppress the rebellion. Excuse me, Proctor, but this accusation of stealing the sacred tithe is simply... He stops talking under the arbitrator's oppressive, merciless gaze. Denying guilt only adds to the suspicions against you, Governor. Now let us go over everything one more time. The tithe was stolen from your world. You are culpable for this incident, whether you were personally involved or not. You will provide the resources I have requested without objection, as this measure serves to re-establish control over the planet. Comply, or I will consider your refusal an obstruction of the investigation and take steps accordingly. It seems I am left with no other option than to obey your will. As his law-abiding servant, I honor the word of the Lex Imperialis. Medina shoots you a quick glance. Unless her ladyship has anything to say on the matter, that is. So the first one, do the Adeptus Arbites truly have the authority to interfere in the rule of governors appointed by a rogue trader? I'm not gonna answer that. Because the answer is yes, they fucking do. So yeah, I would never think to oppose a servant of the Lex. The governor puts his hands behind his back, either to appear more confident or to hide the tremor in his fingers. In that case, please accommodate yourself, Proctor. But before I give you the access codes, I must give a protracted self-exonerating statement. There is no need. All information required of you will be obtained during questioning, without witnesses. Be it your personal guard or the rogue trader. Just you, me, and Glato. The Cybermastiff lets out a heavy growl that sends a shiver down your spine. What is your plan, Proctor? Stop the heretics from taking over the starport and other locations critical to the investigation. At the same time, we will crush the heretics' resistance. Most of them are hiding among the commoners, and a series of concentrated strikes against the residential districts and infirmaries will send them running. That is when we'll finish off the rebel carrion. A series of concentrated strikes against the residential districts and infirmaries. By the way, we're the good guys. But a lot of arrogance for someone in executioner shotgun shell range. Yep. Blood of the throne! I will be governing over nothing but ruins and corpses by the time you're done. Have faith in my methods, Governor. I am not going to depopulate your world. After all, it needs to be able to continue paying the tithe. Okay. Here's a problem. I'm kind of committed to Iconoclast, but I really don't want to pick the Iconoclast option. Killing innocents is unacceptable, even for the sake of saving a world. I'm not gonna say that. That is incredibly naive. And not at all in character. So instead I'm going to say, why do you think the rebels are hiding among the civilians? They could have shelters elsewhere. I know this from a few intercepted Vox exchanges and a couple of scumbags we've interrogated. But first and foremost, I know from experience. Such mutinous rabble always feeds off its families and associates, who also provide a source of recruits to support its ranks. And, of course, there is the heretics' contemptible habit of using the local population as a shield. We need to flush them out of their nests and starve them of resources. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it just because I want more iconoclast points. Killing innocents is unacceptable, even for the sake of saving a world. The arbitrator's voice rings with steel. Aversion to collateral damage is weakness that heretics exploit to the fullest. While you stand here pitying and hesitating, the enemy is busy fortifying their positions and replenishing their losses. Stalling dictated by mercy only magnifies the damage the world will suffer. Yeah. See, I knew he would say that. Honestly, I thought his reaction would be even more harsh, and I just did it for the extra iconoclast point. I wish you luck in your investigation, Proctor. Let's talk to you. The painfully thin tech priest turns sharply towards you. The sudden movement makes his chromed augmetics briefly clang. His grey eyes, set under furrowed brows, almost blend into the pale skin of his face, and he levels you with a heavy, dour stare. Identification. Unit Logis Quartz Crame, official trade representative of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet. The unit supervises supply routes in the Rycat system, ensures the security of the combat arsenal, performs commercial transactions, and secures mutually beneficial contracts. When the tech priest notices Pascal, his eyes widen. His Vox unit immediately lets out a string of screeching binaric, a tortuously long tirade in which the volume rises and falls, seemingly at random. So binaric is basically a super high density language that the Adeptus Mechanicus uses. If you imagine a mix between R2-D2 from Star Wars and the sound a old school modem makes when it connects to the internet. And through the fluctuations and the frequencies in these series of noises, they can convey a lot of information and a lot of technical information very quickly, and normal people don't understand it. I think you basically have to have specialized implants to have a chance of understanding it. When it is finally over, the Omnissiah's servant bows his head in deference. Unit Quartz Crane requests permission to transfer information. The rogue trader possesses a supreme decree of power, the potential to influence the current leadership, the ability to restore order in the Rykard system. Interesting. Permission to transfer information granted. What do you wish to tell me? The tech priest says sharply and curtly. Haphazard and careless decisions on the part of the Rykard Minoris governor have led to unacceptable consequences. Communication with the Adeptus Mechanicus Sanctum has been lost. Troops must be sent to the hallowed electrodynamic cenobium without delay. Restoring communication with the electro priests and ensuring the sanctum's security are our top priorities. Man, as a non-native speaker, those two words right after each other are our. That's kind of hard. Yo, another raid!
Lord, reinforcements have arrived!
Madcat79. Welcome on in. How are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Mad Cat birthday raid. Ooh, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mad Cat. What were you doing? It says you were streaming just chatting. What was going on? You are the head of a rogue trader dynasty. Your position enables you to exert influence. The tech priest pauses for a moment. And pressure on the subjects of the Imperium. Unit Quartz Crane requests assistance. The actions of the governor Faisal Rakadi Ab Medine af Coronas must be influenced. Demand that troops be sent to the holy monastery of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Just chilling, also working. Nice. Getting some work done while watching stream. What are you working on? I observe that this world's authorities lack diligence in the performance of their duties. Music was happening, and you turning 47? Ooh. You're even older than I am. I don't meet a lot of people on this site who are older than me. Happy 47th birthday. This statement is true. United in their denunciations and brimming with righteous criticism, the pair in red exchange knowing nods. Lab work, but you're lurking? Oh, I see. Okay, cool. I will discuss it with the governor. Unit Quartz Crane is grateful. The rogue trader is highly likely to successfully influence the future actions of the local authorities.
Ah, praise be, my lord. Another able warrior has joined our cause.
Sir Timo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Anderson's Army. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? I am 43. Most people tell me I look younger, which is something I've inherited from my father. He also looks younger than he is, and I would look quite a bit younger if I didn't have this beard. But yeah, I'm 43. Alright. I think we can do one more. Show me your arsenal. I accept the commercial transaction. Profit factor is a measure of your status, wealth, and power as a rogue trader. Its value is determined by your trade connections, income of your holdings, and treasury reserves. Value of your profit factor is displayed on the reputation tab in the character menu. Show me your arsenal. While traveling, we'll use profit factor for buying items and completing colonial projects. Profit factor is not spent on purchases and transactions. Instead, its level determines your ability to conclude. Profit factor can grow or diminish. Its growth is primarily influenced by major trade deals, decreased by investments. Got it. Equipment, weapons, and other items can be found at vendors. To trade, profit factor and reputation are required. They are not spent, but they affect the... Okay. Reputation is a measure of the rogue trader's relationship. Increase your reputation. Complete their orders. Okay. Actually, Mad Cat, let me just hook you up here. Let me just shoot you a follow so I can check you out sometime. Anyway, ads are about to start. I try to actually take a break myself whenever an ad break comes up, just to get away and stretch my legs just for a minute. So I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I will be right back. Alright, we are back. However, ads are still running, so we are just going to hold off and not continue until the ads are over, just to make sure nobody misses anything. So I have a profit factor of 12. What does reflective shield? Oh, that's actually... So why can I not buy this? Oh, because I don't have good enough rep. This is the rep. I see. Okay. So they want stuff from me to increase my rep. I see, I see, I see. So say if I give them holy gifts, that will give 500 rep. And then I give them... one set of armor kit. Well, that doesn't give me much. Guess they're not super keen on that. But I have a lot of them, it seems. Do that. That should be enough to get it to 1, so let's trade. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Analyst's helmet. I don't think I want to take that. So if I just take 1... I don't understand. I don't understand what it's costing me. It seems like it's not costing me anything. It doesn't. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. All right. It's only 100. It's 500. Hello from Glasgow. Whereabouts on this pretty blue orb are you? Do not dox myself. I'll dox myself if I want to. You're not my real dad. No, I am in a town you've never heard of called Silkeborg, which is in the central part of western Denmark. So right across the sea from you. Is sort by value. There we go. So holy gifts would be 500, heretic trophies would be 500. I mean, I'm only 400 off from... So if I do 2 more armor kits and 1 ranged weaponry, that'll get me to 2. And then I will take all your multi-keys. I don't want this, but I'll take it in case, you know, I find some use for it. I'll take the shield. I might equip that on Abelard instead of his pistol, actually. Shields. A shield is equipped in one hand, but occupies the slot in both weapon sets. Oh, so he can't have the shotgun if he has the shield. Okay, that's, you know what, that's fair. Every shield has a chance to block an enemy's attack. If hit and burst, the attack is blocked. All subsequent hits are also blocked. Stalwart defense ability increases the wielder's chance to block. Interesting. Okay, psychic body glove. No dodge penalty, 25% armor. Ignore the first critical hit damage in combat. And extra dodge. Yeah, I think I want that for Idira. Modified bolter, I have no idea if that's better than what Magenta already has. Plasma pistol, have that. And 10 medkits. Holy shit, yes, please. Soul Siphon? I mean, I could afford it if they liked me enough to sell it to me. Let's not go completely crazy though. Let's go with this for now. Be right back shoving a curry into my maw. Enjoy. I love a curry. These are mere trinkets compared to the money from a trading empire. Yeah, true, true. I was just a little suspicious, you know, that there wouldn't be some kind of downside to just grabbing everything. Let's have a look here. So for Abelard, access to the same stuff and more traders later on. Don't have to blow. Yeah. That's why I only went up to 2 or 3 reputation, because I still want trade goods for future encounters. I mean, the shotgun is good, but what I could do, put away the shotgun. Put the pistol here. And then give him the shield, like so. I can't give him the plasma pistol because he doesn't know how to use plasma weapons. Now, you can use the plasma pistol. Do I want to, though? Oh, it can do an area attack when it's overcharged. Interesting. I mean, that is pretty cool. Range is better than I thought. Oh, this is hard because I also really like the arc rifle. Let's try the plasma pistol. Oh, I just realized he doesn't equip it in his hands. It's on one of his, it's on his servo arm. Ah, that's cool. I didn't notice that until now. That is really cool. Now, Argenta, babe. Okay. So this modified bolter is just worse than what you already have. I mean, it has a higher rate of fire, but lower damage. I think I'd rather have more damage per hit. Now, Idira. This is going to be a definite upgrade for you. You get the analyst's helmet. So this goes to cargo. Oh, that's only a hand flamer. Okay, so I'll keep an extra one of those around. I'll maintain stub revolver, sword, sniper rifle. The only thing is, should I switch this guy's scrappy auto pistol out for a better pistol? Range 5. Range 6. You know what? I think I'm going to give him the stub revolver instead. And she... just because I'd like her to have some kind of firearm. Actually, I just yeah, that does way more damage. Okay. See, almost. That's gonna make it easier. He's not trained with flamer weapons. I mean, there aren't really any options other than the scrappy auto pistol. Anything you get from traders you can throw into cargo. It's flatly useless. Yes! Which I'm going to do now. Like, I am going to throw all but one of these shock batons into cargo. Hanging on to these for now. Hanging on to these special armors. Definitely hanging on to the melted charges. Don't think I need these. I mean, there's no point in the armored body gloves at all. The Carpus chest plates are just plainly better. So these go to cargo. Definitely don't need that many shotguns. Hang on to a knife. What cloak am I using? Mantle of Heroism. I mean, that is really good. I kind of want all of these. It's hard. 20 and 75. I have a 30 and 75 here. I think these are kind of redundant. And that's a heavy armor. So I have a light, a medium, and a heavy armor. And then we have these special armors. Why did I switch away from that? Because chainmail is just better? Yeah, chainmail is just better. So I'm gonna put that in cargo. Hang on to this for now. Hang on to one of these. Heavy armor proficiency. Yeah, the flak armor's better. Would the chain be better than the flak armor? No, flak armor is better. Heavy leather. Yeah, that's 5% damage reduction for 15% dodge. I do think the flak armor is better. Alright. I think that is what we're going with for now. Talk to him again. Unit Quartz Crane requests permission to negotiate trade agreement. Are you open to a commercial transaction? You're an explorator, aren't you? What are you doing here? Retrieving archived data. Over 70 Terran years ago, the governor of Rykard Minoris and authorized representatives of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet made an agreement. Its goal was mutual benefit through cooperation. Unit Logis Quartz Crame is the fleet's appointed trade agent. The unit is responsible for maintenance of the arsenal and the combat machinery. Blessed are the armorers, for there can be no Imperium without them. Blessed are the valiant warriors, for there is no end to the darkness without them. The Omnissiah's servants exchange short binaric mantras filled with intimidating solemnity. What is the Cognizance Fleet doing in the Rykard system? The Cognizance Fleet's presence in the Rykard system is negligible. Its research activities in the system have been concluded. A limited presence is maintained for the purposes of logistical support. Fulfillment of vows to maintain the Omnissiah's creations. Spiritual oversight. Alright, do you know anything about the tech priest Abel Hanuman? Unit Quartz Crame has had no previous communications with Unit Abel Hanuman. The memory sector contains other data related to this query. Various resources and data storage devices of interest have been extracted by the standing army of Rykard Minoris for preservation purposes. The command center currently hosts a cogitator that was used by Unit Abel Hanuman. Appeal to the cogitator spirits for further information. Thank you, I shall take my leave. Anyone else here we might want to talk to? I mean, that's a cogitator, right? Yeah. Nobody else seems... I mean, we could talk to Solomon more if we wanted to. Heavy chains used to adjust the height of the command platform. Got it. Let's pet the dog. I am sure nothing bad could possibly happen. Oh, it's not allowing me to. Greetings, your ladyship, says the governor, in a dismal voice, glancing reflexively at Solomon. Governor, you didn't steal the tide ship, did you? I'm not gonna say that. That seems like a massive faux pas. Tech Priest Quartz Crane claims you have not been doing enough to ensure the safety of the Adeptus Mechanicus Monastery. With a heavy sigh, the governor wearily covers his face with his hands. Of course he does. That tech priest is very insistent. I ordered a squad to be dispatched to the Holy Cenobium of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They haven't been heard from yet. I'm afraid this is all I can do under the present circumstances. I don't have a single soldier to spare here in the capital. Alright. Massive cogitator, filling the entire command center. Is it okay for a Marxist to be in your chat? Yeah, sure. I don't really care about people's political leanings as long as they're not actively evil and they're not being obnoxious about it. So this is the cogitator, I think. The cogitator looks a lot older and more worn than the ones next to it. However, it has evidently been well cared for. Numerous parts have been replaced, not a single key is jammed, and fresh seals with prayers to the Omnissiah adorn its surface. One of the side panels has been removed. Bundles of gold-notched cables run from inside to a small data crypt that was connected only a short while ago. Awaiting access code. Well? You have bypassed the security layers. Try to make out what Eddie is on my t-shirt. This is the cover to the Number of the Beast album. So it's the one where you have Eddie here looming in the background, and then here front and center, you can't really see, you have the devil. Cogitator is ready to reveal its secrets. Pascal leans forward and runs his fingers over the key. The Cogitator's screen blinks and responds with strings of unknown characters. I appealed to the machine spirit to open Logus Abel's personal archives as well. It has accepted my request. Ooh. So let's start from the beginning. Go to Logus's private archive, result of the Logus Abel's data trance. I cannot see the secret design, but I can sense it, shackled in stasis. The minds of the initiated are slumbering in the neural harness of their vows. I am registering an impulse of change. I surmise a potential influence on the stasis of the secret design. There came a time when the spiral was turned into a circle, but the cycle can be discontinued. Like Brave New World personally, Seventh Son is cool as well. Honestly, I think I just like all Iron Maiden. I think Number of the Beast and Fear of the Dark are probably my favorites. The revelation granted by the Omnissiah to Logus Abel in the course of his data meditation has been recorded verbatim. Logus Abel is seeking an audience with the Venerable Dar Impulse 6, who may assist in interpreting the revelation. A request has been sent to the Governor's Palace for a shuttle flight to the electrodynamic Cenobium. A message has also been sent to the Furibundus system. The cycle can be discontinued. I recognize the words. The voice from the Vox is soft and pensive, barely audible over the static noise. I believe I know the intended recipient of the message in the Furibundus system. It was me. Omnissiah, grant me the wisdom to fathom this mystery. Sacred Computation 782-5-M. Upon Logus Abel's orders, the archives of every Augur station on Rycat Minoris and the 2 primary satellites of Rycat's star have been queried. That's a big query. Said satellites are named Magus Maruf and Zafira the Keen, after 2 great champions of faith, whose external cogitators were placed inside the satellite's cores after their shells perished. The purpose of the sacred computation requested by the Logus is to uncover the external influence behind the ongoing insurgency. So Logus Abel was looking into the ongoing insurgency. Pascal often says, may the cycle be discontinued. Oh, I hadn't noticed that yet. Computation result positive. Multiple instances of interference and malfunction detected, suggesting that the ships moving across the system deliberately blinded the sacred augur's eyes. The first of these ships is thought to have arrived 2 Rycard Minoris cycles ago, early in the winter. The most recent one arrived a month ago. Logus Abel's conclusion. The insurrection on the planet had been long in the making, with the participation of external actors. It is alleged that 2 cycles ago, Aurora arrived in the Rycat system. The rumored unholy prophet of the insurgents. The subsequent ship movements can be attributed to weapon deliveries. But what is the nature of their activity near Rycadi Philia, which I believe was the prison? Governor Medine's attention must be drawn to, and then the final entry cuts off abruptly. Recent observations. The satellite Magus Maruf reports that a ship has translated into the system. Its signature is consistent with the records of the flagship of a road trader dynasty, House von Valancius. So that's from my arrival. The satellite Zafira the Keen reports that a ship drifting nearby has hurriedly sped away. The ship had sent an encrypted Vox transmission to the insurgent controls areas of the surface of Rycard Minoris. Another transmission was directed to the planetoid Riccardi Philia. Both transmissions were signed Brother Twilight. Their contents could not be decrypted. Okay. So someone sounded the alarm, kind of, when we arrived. Okay. To be investigated. The entry contains planetside coordinates marked as heavy auger station jamming. Possibly a hidden insurgent base. Well, that was a lot of interesting information. I think I shall have a chat with Pascal now. Oh?
I tire of idleness. Let's move.
Can I not talk to Pascal? Smash or pass Saint Celestine? I am not big. I mean, she looks fine. But I am not big on religious fanatics. I am not big on people in like the throes of delirium, so I am going to have to say pass and place her at D tier. Guess we can call this a Pascal's wager. If that's a reference to something, I am not getting it. Is that like a book or something? I think the only Pascal I'm familiar with is that there's a mathematician called Pascal. Oh, it's a reference to a fallacy. Got it. Yeah, I'm not very educated when it comes to logic and philosophy. I'm not very well read. Also, welcome, Juggernaut.
Watching the lazy handle sacred technology breaks my heart.
Maybe in here.
Figuratively speaking, my cardiovascular augmentation can withstand much more than high blood pressure.
Hate it when your jokes don't land. Well, sorry. I guess you need to dumb it down for me a little bit. Let's talk to Quartz Crame again, see if he has anything new. Nope.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Solomon. MT security. He doesn't have anything new. Arbitrator Stein. Can't talk to your companions outside of NPC conversation. Conversations on the... Oh. Well, that's a shame. That's a little annoying. I guess we're heading out. We just have a look here. Does that mean it's been completed? Yeah, quest completed. Okay. Oh. How's the day going otherwise? Going great. Having a nice, relaxing day. I am hosting a meetup on Thursday, so I'm going to be spending most of yesterday. Once I'm done with my doctor's appointment, I will be shopping for that and cleaning up a little bit and getting ready for that. So today I've just been resting up, gathering energy. Is Denmark still gorgeous? I guess, if you like forests and farmland? I don't know. I don't think I ever... Maybe it's just because it's where I'm from, so I'm used to it. I never really felt Denmark was all that gorgeous. It kind of just is. Seems like everything is pointing me towards that monastery. Oh, that should not be active. Hold on. I need to check something in my bot. Oh, guess I just didn't have it set up right. Hold on. Moderation. Ah, I guess I just hadn't disabled the wheel. I thought I did. Love forests, love mountains as well. No hills, easy for your poor blighted joints. Yeah, Denmark is extremely flat. Extremely flat. Yeah, so we're heading to the electrodynamic cenobium. Don't know how I get there, but we'll figure it out. Turn to void ship or the upper way? So I'm guessing I just return to the void ship, and then from my void ship I can then take a shuttle to the monastery. So that's what we'll be doing. Oh, what do we have here? Permission to report. Oh, that's the Voxmaster. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Over the past few days, I received several messages from different decks complaining about anomalous behaviors on the ship's cogitators and servitors. The machine spirits are restless and rebellious, and no tech litany or ritual of pacification can rid them of this obstinacy. The tech priests can deal with the vessel's systems, but the servitors, they make errors in their tasks, disobey orders, change the assigned rituals, or sometimes downright freeze as if in a trance. A click comes through the Vox channel, followed by a weary sigh. Lord Captain, occurrences such as these are caused by errors in cogitator calculations, or have some other sensible explanation. I beseech you not to take after those who whisper the ship being cursed or possessed. It's on the same planet. Yeah, but don't I still have to go back to the ship to go to the different location on the planet? Idira joins the channel and chimes in playfully. Oh, don't start, old man. All these peculiar happenings have long since turned into local legends. A door slams shut, a lumen starts flickering. Folks have grown used to all that, so our resident ghost has decided to up the ante. I'm telling you, things are only going to get worse from here. I mean, considering how faster than light travel works, and how the warp works in this universe, I don't think it would be that unusual for a void ship to end up literally haunted. Is there many Space Marines for you to counter for your Illuvida? I haven't met any Space Marines yet in this game. What is Illuvida? I'm not familiar with that word. What's that from? The technomats expected the servitors and concluded they posed no danger. According to the servants of the Omnissiah, such behavior is caused either by the echoes of minds, not completely eliminated, or by manifestations of the machine spirit's will. Nevertheless, the faulty servitors make the crew's task considerably more difficult, and High Factotum Janris Danrock would like to discuss how he should deal with the defective property. He is awaiting your audience on the bridge. Dark Elves in 40k? I have never heard them called Illuvida before. I have only heard them called Drukhari. Lord Captain, Astropathic Choirmaster Zachary Weiss is asking to speak to you via a private channel. Man, so many things waiting for me when I get back to my ship. Greetings, your ladyship. I can report that the choir is listening tirelessly to the Immaterium in the hope of picking up voices from the dynasty's ship or worlds. However, we have heard something horrifying instead. Amid the Immaterium's tumult, something is screaming. The scream is driving your choir mad. Until it stops, we have no hope of contacting any of the dynasty's worlds. It is coming from the Rycat System's astropathic station. Sounds like we need to check that out as well. They are the Illuvida over here? I have never heard that. Zachary Weiss, I do not think we've been introduced. Indeed not, and we meet under lamentable circumstances. My name is Zachary Weiss, and I am proud to be the choir master of your ship's astropathic choir. The duty I perform is to keep you in contact with the Expanse via astropathic messages sent through the warp by trained psychers. I thought Space Hulk was a colloquial name for a ship that was puked out from chaos. Kinda. A Space Hulk is what happens when a bunch of starships kind of congregate together. They kind of gravitate towards each other and end up as like one big Hulk. And then, yeah, they coast through the warp, and they are Hellscape ghost ships. It's just like less one Hellscape ghost ship and more a pile of Hellscape ghost ships. Often also infected by aliens. There is a game, Space Hulk, and it is all about fighting gene stealers, which are very xenomorph-like, in one of these Hellscape ghost ships. What is the nature of this scream? We do not know, your ladyship, but it has brought the Immaterium to a boil. It has always been a violent, roaring ocean that could spell doom to anyone who would consider stepping into its waters. Now, however, it has become a cradle of madness where expelled images fuse together, twisting and cackling, before crashing into the minds of all who perceive it. A mighty warp storm, the likes of which I cannot recall, rages in the Imperium, and it fills me with terror. If the scream stops, will we be able to contact someone? I humbly hope so, your ladyship. Perhaps we will manage to send a call for aid to the Von Valancius worlds or one of the dynasty's allies. Well, we will be paying a visit to that station. Thank you, your ladyship. However, we will not do it immediately. We will be doing it, just not yet. So how do I... Oh, I don't want to fly away from the planet. Oh, here we go. Void ship management, back to bridge. That's what I was looking for. Have some people to speak to on the bridge before we head back down. So where is he? There he is. I kind of want to speak to all my companions. Well, let's speak to Victus, see if he has anything. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Lord Captain. I have no information who would be of interest. Alright, thank you. To the Lord Captain's quarters. Let's go down and talk to Argenta. I don't think she has anything new to say, but just in case.
Greetings.
Even in stillness, Sister Argentus radiates energy. With her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheeks, she is reciting a prayer and looks at you only once she has spoken the final line. Well, she doesn't have anything new to say. I don't really need a primer on the Adeptus Sororitas. Janice Danrock. Cronus Expanse map. Bravo. Heinrich Montag. Who's that? Don't remember you. Oh, it's the Infernus Master. The Infernus Master nonchalantly lights a glow stick from a thermal cutter and spreads his arms in a welcoming gesture. Heinrich Montag, at your service. He smells of cinders and low. His face is sooty, and his belt is laden with a number of heavy tools. You would have taken him for a laborer if it weren't for the greasy and ragged officer's uniform. He narrows his eyes, studying your face, then says with visible relief, "It's only tales after all. You just don't look like a bringer of woes to me." What was that about a bringer of woes? Do I even need to say it? The moment you came aboard, Lady Theodora perished. So did her arch-militant, as well as half of the senior officers and a quarter of the Infernus Guild, along with the previous Infernus Master. What's worse, rations don't taste as good anymore, fire burns hotter, and that sinister look in your eyes, like you're just about to put a curse on someone. Heinrich grins. It's what the voicemen say, so it must be true. Ludicrous nonsense. Don't let it get to you. They'll get bored of it soon enough. So how did you come to be in the service of the Von Valancius dynasty? Not in the usual way. My ancestors wronged yours and were appointed Inferni as a result. Hard labor, deadly risks, plenty of opportunities to atone. Those criminals have been dead for generations, but we're still serving their time. Maybe we'll find redemption someday. Tell me more about the Infernus Guild. What interests you the most? Our duty, our state-of-the-art equipment, or our vibrant traditions? How is the guild organized? The Infernus service is split into different brigades according to duties. The heart of the guild are, of course, our liquidators, tough guys with nerves of steel who put out fires and pull people from the flames. Others are repairmen, dealing with problems like jammed doors, fuel leaks, or broken vents. And then there's the walking inspectors, who check the decks to make sure that nothing is blocking any passages or access to communication lines. What about your equipment? He smiles guiltily. That was a bit of a stretch, I'm sorry. There is no state-of-the-art equipment. The risks of ruining it in a fire are too great. We get by using human resources and the most common items available. Respirators, fire extinguishers, and flame-retardant uniforms. Let's face it, the lives of the Inferni are not worth much. It's much more important that we save the machines and minimize damage to the ship. Alright, what kind of traditions do you have? We have plenty of those, like the reminders. Heinrich rolls up his sleeve, revealing a tattoo ascribed over an old burn mark. When you survive a particularly hopeless accident, you get a tattoo on your scar. You can always tell an experienced Infernus by their ink. It's like a badge of honor of sorts. Well, tell me how you got your reminders. He points a tattoo on his right forearm. This one is from the time plasma leaked from the outer aft circuit. Imagine yourself clinging to the hull outside, thermal cutter in one hand and magnetic clamp in the other. As your flames burst from the breach, the kind that can incinerate you in a second. All that separates you from death is a flimsy rope and a void suit more ancient than holy terror. And yet the price I paid was nothing compared to my comrades. He slowly moves the augmented fingers of his right hand. As for this one, the look he directs at his left hand is full of bitterness. I got this one in the ammo depot where my wife Elsinora died. There was a fire and the flames were getting close to the ammunition. And I don't mean autogun rounds. These were macro cannon shells. We put out the fire as best we could, but we were losing. Suddenly Elsie took my hand, kissed me, and then ran straight into the blaze and activated the emergency blast door. We stayed outside while she vented the compartment. Ooh. Ooh. Heinrich gives a tender smile, gazing at the smoke. It was quite a story. I am sorry for your loss, Heinrich. He nods gratefully, then takes another puff. All right, I've learned all I need. What shall we talk about? Well, that is enough for now. Never let your fires go out, Lord Captain. I mean, no. Heinrich hurriedly waves his hands. That's just a stupid little guild-in joke. Seriously, if you see an infernus next to a naked flame, run. I am a sucker for stories like that. Like heroic self-sacrifice, that just gets to me. That tugs right at my heartstrings. Alright, Janice Danrock. Talk to me. The corpulent man in a lavish clothes bow before you, not without difficulty. A servo skull whirs over his shoulder with the fingers of his augmented hand drum against the sheaf of papers he is holding. He regards you with attentive interest through the lens of his magnifying implant. Greetings, your ladyship. Janice Danrock at your service. Ooh, I can learn a lot here. Well, start from the beginning. Victus informed me about a problem with the servitors. What happened? You see, your ladyship, the ship's servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate protocols, interrupt their tasks, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically with no meaning or purpose. Janice Danrock nervously pulls on his luxurious frock coat as if it were uncomfortably tight. Had it been a routine technical fault, I would have decided the fate of these servitors myself. But I deem it necessary to notify you. I do not wish to hide such irregularities from the Lord Captain. For some dinner and a pot of water. Hello, Aurelia. You do that. You go take care of dinner. Thanks for lurking. If you wish to observe the servitors' unusual behaviors before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments, pending your decision. Pascal Hanneman expressed the desire to be present during the inspection, should it be carried out. I suppose the expertise of the esteemed Magus may come in handy. Yeah, let's take a look at these servitors. As you wish, your ladyship. Would you like the Engineer Prime to accompany me? Yes, Pascal shall come with me. As your ladyship commands. Reports of a tech phenomenon during Lord Captain's visit. When her ladyship arrived at the scene, she found servitors in the same position that they assumed after they had been corralled into the bay, all standing in a long, spiraling line and facing the center of their strange formation. The moment her ladyship crossed the threshold of the bay gate, their bodies jerked into motion, all as one, as if obeying a command. The servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units even reached for their weapons, but then the servitors went still, just abruptly staring at her ladyship with vacant eyes. That is creepy. All present held their breath, disturbed by this sight. We waited for the Lord Captain to speak. Her ladyship, Theodora von Valancius, took several steps towards the servitors. Immediately, the servitors, each and every one of them, stepped toward the Lord Captain in perfect unison. They mimicked her movement with frightening precision. The rogue trader halted in place, and after a moment's thought waved her hand, and the servitors, just as synchronously, repeated the gesture as well. When the Lord Captain turned quizzically to the technomats, so did the servitors, as if mocking her. Whatever the Lord Captain did, be it an incline of the head, a wave of the hand, or a step to the side, the defective units repeated it without a moment's delay or hesitation, like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer. We observed this mime unfold in distressed bafflement for nearly a minute until the servitors finally came to a stop. Not sensing any threat from them, the rogue trader approached with confidence. The Lord Captain examined the servitors. As High Factotum, it was I who had prompted that entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain. As we stepped closer, we noticed a fascinating irregularity. The servitors' pupils, normally still, were shaking wildly. Their bulging veins were pulsating under their copper collars, inscribed with their past offenses. It was as if those mindless half-machines were locked in a perpetual state of extreme tension. A visibly shaken technomat behind us proposed that the human bodies had awakened within the human souls had awakened within the servitors' bodies after a long slumber deep within their lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had attained awareness, feeling, understanding. That is a horror story. That in and of itself is a horror story. After pause, the technomat added that the servitors used to function properly and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behavior. Her gaze still trained on the motionless but animate half-machines and half-people. The Lord Captain... I am not going to do that. Stepped away from the servitors. All present held their breath, disturbed by this sight. We waited for the Lord Captain to speak. Her Ladyship, Teophania von Valancius, examined the servitors. Oh, that's just the same thing. Okay, step away. Gestured for her Engineer Prime to study the servitors. The Engineer Prime slowly waded into the motionless ranks of the servitors, peering into their faces and checking the readings. There was no haste in Pascal's actions. With mesmerizing diligence, he inspected every single unit in his path, and binary prayers were his companions in this investigation. The examination confirmed the technomat's initial hypothesis. The servitors' souls, or rather the souls of the people they once were, had awakened. Not yet fully conscious of their past and present, these half-machines could nonetheless feel primitive emotions and sensations such as fear and pain. This undesirable consequence of shoddily performed lobotomy is most rarely observed, and yet for some unknown reason it had occurred in every single one of the servitors gathered in the bay. Don't like that. Give me a report on the defective unit's status. The technomat's long-winded and detailed report could have been summarized in a single key point. Despite the servitors' abnormal behavior, they were still quite capable of carrying out tasks, and therefore the circumstances did not call for their termination. I will have one disassembled. A group of technomats hurried to act upon the Lord Captain's command. The servitor's mechanical parts separated with clicks, snaps, and hisses. The sutures between its wrinkled pale flesh and its augments were laid disgustingly bare. We watched the technomats do their work and could see every centimeter of the servitor's stiff muscles abounding with valves and cavities, pierced by countless cords and tubes. The disassembly and analysis complete, the technomats concurred. The unit was in working order. Nothing in the dissected body that lay before us could provide any insight into the reason behind the defects. I should make note of one more thing. At that moment, all of us present discovered that not just the eyes, but the hands and heads of some of the servitors were now shaking too. It was as if the mechanized servants were overcome with some primordial terror. And can you fucking blame them? Alright, turn to me to announce her decision. Her ladyship looked at me with unwavering resolve. It was that confidence that wrenched me out of the nightmarish stupor that had me tensely observing the scene unfolding before me. The Lord Captain gave the order. To dispose of the servitors so that their human souls may be released from torment. The Lord Captain's command was executed post-haste. All defective units were incinerated in furnaces, and their remains were expelled into the void. The crew was provided with replacement servitors and soon forgot all about the destroyed unit's peculiarities. Yet this incident haunts my memories to this day. With the fate of the defective servitors decided, nothing could now distract the Lord Captain from her mission. Yay! That little side story really put into perspective just how horrific the Imperium is. Like, it's great to be a noble in the Imperium, you live a fantastic pampered life, but for a lot of other Imperial citizens, it is horror, especially if you end up a servitor. We have ads coming up in a couple of minutes. I am just going to start them a little early to get them out of the way and go use the bathroom, so don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Alright, we are back. Oops. Let's stop that. Alright, we're back. An ad break is about to end. So let's just get right back into it. I want to exhaust his conversation, because I think I skipped him last time I was on the ship. Remind me, what is it you do on my ship? As the High Factotum, my duties encompass anything that might enrich you and your protectorate. I see to it that suppliers deliver all shipments on time, that our partners do not weasel out of their promises, and that all servants remember that the Emperor's grace can only be earned through toil for the good of the Von Valancia's dynasty. I also make arrangements to ensure that our hold receives less than thorough inspections by port customs officers, and I find buyers for whatever you wish to sell. And, of course, I ensure that the Protectorate's worlds prepare their tithe in a timely fashion. Let none ever say in my lifetime that the dynasty has disgraced itself with a late payment of the sacred tribute. How did you come to serve the Von Valancia's dynasty? I come from Dargonus, your ladyship. I have been a subject of your dynasty since birth, and have always strived to be of use to the great rogue trader. Alas, it was not my fate to be the primary heir of my own family, due to my being 15th in line for the title, so I decided not to stand in the way of those behind me in case they attempted to shorten the waiting list at my expense. Janris. It's a tricky name. Janris lets out an almost kindly chuckle. While my brothers and sisters schemed against one another, I studied the exact sciences and mastered bookkeeping, the greatest art of the Adeptus Administratum. I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, carousing, and the other traditional amusements of my noble peers. What was it like working with Theodora? Oh, now that's a tricky question, your ladyship. Do you ask it of everyone, knowing they risk losing their head should they let slip a careless remark about your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working with Lady Theodora was never boring and always profitable. The Imperium has billions of subjects, but very few do what they love and what they are best suited to. I would say Lady Theodora was one of the fortunate ones. She was a model rogue trader, and she surrounded herself with those who excelled at and loved their work. Hers was a rare talent indeed. I wish to know what you think of your fellow crew members. Keeping tabs on your subordinate. A wise move. Tell me who interests you, and I'll endeavor to be as honest as possible. Janris's eyes light up. Is obviously eager to speak his mind. Tell me what you think of Seneschal Abelard Wasserian. Lady Theodora managed to do what even the Imperial Navy could not, teach Master Wasserian to carry out orders that he fundamentally disagrees with. I do not know what methods she used, but the result is impressive. Having said that, there is something else you need to know, Lord Captain. Your Seneschal is capable of being something far greater than a mere conduit for your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protectorate passively whenever Lady Theodora was away, and that really is saying something. Keep an eye on that old officer, I say, or alternatively, turn him into a faithful ally. What is your opinion of Conrad Voitvir, the former Master of Whispers? I hope I never see him set foot aboard this vessel again, not even as a servitor. Although, he would be able to do at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the latrines, after all. The Factotum's bloated face grows stern. He gave us all quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain, and still, to speak candidly, I never enjoyed Master Voitvir's company, but I believed him to be a man who knew how to do his job. Regretfully, I was mistaken. It turned out Conrad lacked the most important quality for a Master of Whispers, unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader, and his failing came to light in the most deplorable manner. Alright, and what do you have to say about Voxmaster Victus Ptolemy? Ah yes, the Voidborn. Choose your words carefully, Janris. I am also Voidborn. You know, in my family, we use such creatures as quarry whenever we went hunting. Mutants are the bane of humanity, an unseen tumor that threatens to end us all. But I digress. In the brief time Tolliman has spent in post as Voxmaster, I have not noticed any significant flaws in her character or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Needless to say, she is very diligent, as is any Voidborn seeking to earn their master's affection. I believe you can trust in her skills and loyalty. Alright. Kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But that's the thing. Have you read any of the 40k books? If so, which ones? The novels, I have. But only a couple. I know there's like 100 of them. I haven't read much in the past couple of decades. I read more when I was younger. I have read the book called Storm of Iron. I strongly recommend that one. I really enjoyed it. And I have read another one that I don't remember the title of. But something about some ultramarines on a planet during a gene stealer cult insurrection. They're usually moderately mutated. Yeah, I mean, they are kind of like a sub-race of humanity. They're almost abhumans. But I still think it leaves a bad taste in my mouth to deal with and rely on someone who would hunt people for sport just because they were born a mutant. I find that somewhat distasteful. But that's the thing. It's 40k. The Imperium is a distasteful place. Only read a few of the Horus Heresy. Oh, I have read one of the Caiaphas Cain books as well. I really enjoyed that one. I don't remember which one it was though, but I really enjoyed that one as well. All right, I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Of course, Lord Captain. Who interests you exactly? We most often deal with the followers of St. Drusus, the Explorators, the Casbalica mission, or Emperor forgive us, the Fellowship of the Void. Well, why are we giving away our spoils to these people in the first place? To profit from them, of course. Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor think them treasures, especially when they are bestowed by the great rogue trader herself. Drusian fanatics and pirate cutthroats, Casbalica dealers and explorators, none will refuse our help in these dark and trying times, and there may come a time when we shall be the ones requiring aid, and it would be beneficial to have allies willing to provide it. Also, yeah, my character is a Voidborn. So my character probably also finds it distasteful. Although, probably still less distasteful than I personally find it. What do the followers of St. Drusus acquire from us? The Drusians still hope to bring the Coronis Expanse, into the warm embrace of the faith, just as their flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drusian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of clothes, or box of medicine marked with your seal is a sign of the rogue trader herself believes in the sect's future success. Reverend Hieronymus is the first among the Drusians and is most often seen in Footfall's grand atrium. Gloomy fellow, but some almost believe him to be a saint. Oh, so the different factions value different trade goods, I think? I think maybe certain things are worth more to certain people. If that's true, that makes a lot of sense. Tell me more about the Explorators. Members of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet, which has been roaming the Coronis Expanse for a good while now. Omnissiah knows what they're hoping to find, but their acolytes regularly show up on inhabited worlds, seeking bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, and sniffing out Xeno artifacts, if truth be told. Supposedly, they want to save the ignorant rebel from corruption. A tech priest named Opticon22 does business with us on the fleet's behalf. He can be found at the docks on Footfall. Sounds like Footfall is like a major hub. Alright, what about the Casbalica mission? Masters of the cold trade, immoral criminals, and notorious crooks to the last man. The mission is but one branch of this mafia gang that has taken roots in the Calixis sector. You can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They are led by Vladimir Tokhara, who recently appointed himself Liege of Footfall. Of course, he is a trusted ally of rogue trader Winterscale, but he will not refuse you, another of the Emperor's anointed. If you wish to talk to Vladimir, look for him in the Liege's palace on Footfall. What is this Fellowship of the Void? Generous remits a laugh-like gurgle. Ha! A pompous name, is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory. However, some of their little flotillas need supplies, or can take awkward cargo off our hands without asking questions. Of course, there's always the risk that these scoundrels will change their mind and attempt to board us instead. But so far, our macro cannons have managed to keep them in line. They say Riza Calvaria speaks on the Fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Amasecus on Footfall is rumored to be her favorite haunt. Adeptus Amasecus? That is hilarious. Okay, so for those of you who are not steeped in the 40k universe, different branches of the Imperium's organizations are usually called Adeptus something. Like, the law enforcers are the Adeptus Arbitus. The whole massive galaxy-wise administration is the Adeptus Administratum. Amasec is a booze. It is an alcohol. It is basically the 40k settings version of brandy or whiskey, depending on how fancy it is. So to have what I am assuming is a bar named Adeptus Amasecus, I think it's hilarious. That's brilliant. That is exactly the kind of dumb shit name you would give to a bar. Yeah, you're basically calling the bar the Ministry of Booze. Alright, let's change the subject. Sounds like a Monty Python skit. It kind of does, yeah. Alright, what if I order the shipping and transportation of some goods? Oh! Can I just trade with anyone just like this? No, because I haven't unlocked the merchant, but I can trade with Tech Priest Quartz Crame. So if I get it to 3, that will give me some gas cloud grenades, a first aid manual, and soul stuff. What is this? First aid manual can be equipped. Where do you equip it? What's a trinket? I don't think I'm going to do that right now, but it's good to know I have that as an option through my high factotum. Alright, ooh, replace the painting of the late Theodora in my chambers, hang my portrait instead. I'm not going to do that. I wish to bolster my retinue with skilled fighters. Rest assured, there are people of the most outstanding talents among the thousands of crew. I will contact the overseers at once. What? So if I'm not happy with the pre-made companions, I can just create custom characters built exactly the way I want them for my party. Brilliant. I love it. I'm not gonna do it because I really like the characters this game has given me. I am already in the point where I am struggling because I want all of them and I don't have enough room in my party. But I love that it's an option. I love that it's an option. We're not gonna do it, but I love that it's an option. What else do you have? My retinue and I are in need of training. Go to the sparring chambers at once. Select a character to reset their progress. I see. We won't do that, but it's good to know it's an option. Both Pathfinder games have this option too. I do want to stream those at some point, by the way. I started playing Kingmaker, and literally the reason I abandoned my Kingmaker playthrough is that I was a few hours in and I was like, this is good. I want to do this on stream. Is there anyone else I want to talk to? Let's see if Idira has any fun prophecies. And then after that, I think it's time to make Planetfall again. Idira sees you, her lips curve into a smile, and she nods at something over your shoulder. You seem to have a very strong reaction to what Argenta said by the broken lens.
It was just my nerves playing up. Something about our little saint doesn't sit right with me, and I trust my gut. Oh sure, she seems straight as an arrow and as predictable as a hangover after drinking. But when I look at her, something about her makes my brain itch.
Gotta say, I love the detailing they put into the environment. Yeah, it's got a great 40k feel to it.
After that conversation, I tried to listen to what was being said about her. Beyond the door, what I heard was strange. Blood in her past, twilight in her present, and something like a star leading her. But where is it leading her? I saw several roads, and all of them frightened me.
Maybe we should warn Argenta.
Oh yeah, you go ahead and tell her the wicked Psyker has divined something about her. She'll be so pleased and grateful, and of course she'll listen to what you have to say. No, that would be pointless. And anyway, I'm not even sure what it all means. Maybe the danger is to her, or maybe the danger's coming from her.
Oh, that gave me 7 experience. Because of my awareness check. Idira's voice is full of animosity, but you also detect concern, even a hint of pity and compassion. Alright, Idira, got a new story for me?
You bet I do, Lord Captain. Okay, so we went to Footfall once. Well, I mean, Lord Captain Theodora went to Footfall a lot. But on that occasion, she took me with her for some reason. My day had gotten off to a bad start. My head had been yammering since I woke up, but there was nothing else for it. I had to go. We arrived at the place, and what a place! All the gentlemen and ladies dressed to kill, showing off their encrusted implants, all clustered around little tables. Well, turned out it was a gaming den. And not just any gaming den, but one run by somebody with deep pockets for people with just as much cash to splash. You should have seen it. People gambling away planets in a game of regicide. Anyway, so the Lord Captain wanted me to help her beat some guy. So I tell her, the chips won't land in your favor. You'll get a bad hand. Don't sit down at that table, your ladyship. But did she listen? Of course she didn't. If there's one thing she never lacked, it's stubbornness. So they sat down and the cards were dealt. I'm hovering around like I'm not involved, but I'm keeping my eye on things. And everything in my head keeps getting louder and louder. Anyway, it's a good thing I realized in time that my mind wasn't going haywire over a losing hand, but something else. I made some excuse to drag the Lord Captain up from the table and took her away from that place. And a few minutes later, the room where we'd been... It turned out some wise guy had the same bright idea to bring a pet psyker along with him. One of those ones who just scuttle around in Footfall's underbelly. And the psyker just freaked out, I guess. After all the commotion, people went to see what happened in the room. And they'd all gone for each other's throats. Literally. With teeth. And I think they completely detached that asteroid from Footfall and pushed it off into open space so it would head off toward the local star.
Alright, Adira. Now an augury.
All right. Let's hear what they're whispering about you. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in somehow, but for now...
Alright.
Of course.
Alright, I think we are done, so I think it is time to head back down to the planet. However, I have a long day ahead of me tomorrow. So I think we are going to call it here and then see if maybe later this week, like on the weekend, we can get a second Rogue Trader stream in.